Comes back to our table. Please, I insist. Bad things happen to women that Uber home this late by themselves. I'd feel better if I dropped you off. Not having the energy to argue, I told him fine, and I put my address into his GPS. As soon as he got home, he messaged me and told me he'd be picking me up in the morning to go for a picnic. I told him I had cleaning to do, but he was insistent and I caved. Come 10 a.m. the next morning, and best believe he was right outside my door. As soon as I got into his car, he leaned over and tried to kiss me. Obviously I'm a little grossed out, but I didn't want to ruin the picnic so I just avoided it. We had our picnic and it was quite nice. He tried to kiss me a few more times, but I avoided it with everything in me. At around 4 p.m., I started feeling tired and told him I wanted to go home. The park we went to was an hour-and-a-half drive away from town, so Ubering would be impossible. He agreed that it was time to go so we got in his car and headed out. I fell asleep in the car on the drive back, and when I woke up he asked if we should finish the rest of the bubbly we got for mimosas up at my apartment. I told him I didn't want to, and he snapped. He raised his voice, and said something along the lines of, "What are you hiding from me? Just be honest. Why are you so desperate to keep me out of your apartment?" I was so confused that I actually couldn't speak. He dropped me off, but I could see his car across from my apartment for about half an hour before he actually left. 5 minutes after he left, he texted me saying he got home safe, and that he thought he was falling for me. Okay. What the hell? I was a little freaked out since I made it very clear I didn't want anything serious. I told him that if he felt that way we should stop hanging out because the feelings were not mutual. We didn't speak for 5 days, until he messaged me asking if I wanted to go out to an Indian restaurant he knew I'd love. Stupidly, I agreed, since I hadn't eaten yet, and I told him to text me the address so I could meet him there. Well, he was insistent on picking me up. 7 p.m. comes, he tells me he's downstairs, and as I go I see he's just standing at my gate waiting. I opened the gate, and he walked inside to meet me. "Show me which one is yours. I'd love to see how you live." Yes, that was his opening line. No hello, or how are you? So now I'm naturally unsettled. I told him I was starving, and told him I just wanted to go to the restaurant, and he obliged. The dinner was about as awkward as you could expect, and midway through, he got another phone call, but didn't step away this time. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but he was so loud it was impossible not to. Halfway through his conversation, he turned to me, "Am I sleeping with you tonight?" What the hell? What is going on? What is he talking about? I just sat there in absolute shock and terror. "What did you just ask me?" I asked. "Are we sleeping together tonight?" "No, absolutely not," I said. "Why do you keep trying to make advances on me after I've told you many times we aren't going to be like that?" He had an angry look on his face and whispered something into his phone, then hung up. Our food arrived, and we barely spoke. I asked him why he said that earlier and he spun the story to how he just wanted to see how I live. I then said to him, very frankly, that I don't like having strangers in my apartment. The bill came and as usual, I paid for myself, he paid for himself. I told him I was going to Uber home,